Hello, beautiful people. How are you all doing today? Hmm. I'm willing to bet one channel point that he's doing Narcissus Queries today. Plugi. Plugi. Hi. Alright, chat. Resin not capped? That is kind of crazy, huh? That is unusual. Alright, we got a bunch of shit we want to do today. I feel like garbage. So it will probably not go very well. But, hey, I'm gonna do my best. Real. Chat. How are you today? On a scale from okay's business to hog slide cog. How are you? Alright, chat, did Arlecchino get any new changes today? Or are we in the clear for now? No? Alright, fuck. Thank God. When are you trading for mobile Genshin? Soon. True. Yep, I did. You know it. You know I did. Blood out here acting like it's an actual question and he's not just trying to catch me. I swear, Zajef, it's an honest question.
Perhaps we could take
to which I don't know the answer at all. Is it now?
Stabilize.
Is Arlecchino a tier 0 or tier 1 unit? Oh boy.
Solidify. Be sanctified. Quiet. I see through you. Looks like I went too far.
We recording a meta roundup today? Yep. But I gotta actually wake up first. I am not awake. I'm not woke. I haven't yet been arrested by the woke mob. Bro.
Settle down.
Shower me with praise. Let my name echo in song.
Be sanctified.
I can still. In the end.
Bow your head.
The woke mob wants to tell you Raiden, Shogun, and Yai Miko are lesbians. See? I gotta be honest with you, okay? The whole Yai Miko and Raiden are lesbians thing, to me, it's fake. You know why? Because Raiden is a terrible person who's incapable of love. Okay? Yai, sure. Okay? Whatever. You do you. But Raiden, terrible person, incapable of love, will die alone.
Let the world collide.
Wind strike.
Gather. Let the mighty be humbled.
Never heard of the case of such an asshole that you become asexual before. First time for everything.
Strike a pose. Let my name echo in.
The tides beckon. Bow your head.
Shower me with praise. Let the world collide.
Wind strike.
Stabilize. Be sanctified.
Alright. If Arlecchino triggers overload with her N3, will she overload the enemies towards her? I don't believe that's how it works. Ors Rise. Alright, chat, we're gonna do a run of Abyss, but what do we play? Hmm. What if we played this chef from Liyue? What is this? The fuck? Well, Lisa has hers. I am. Oh no, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Where are you, instructor? Instructeur. Sort by energy recharge. Yep. Yep. Okay. Now this. Yep. And then on the other side, we're gonna play Hu Tao. How about that? How about that? That's the wrong set. What am I doing?
Silly churl, Billy churl.
Let's go Elledge. Wait, did I pick Sayu? You didn't, but you almost did? Oh, okay. Okay, we're fine.
Ring cutter. Everybody stand. Nice and spicy. Animal test 6308. Stand clear. You're toast. Rain outlines your fate. Yeah, let's light it up. We need a scout. How would you consider that? The banquet is here. Let me lead you a bit. Teamwork is gift for you. Get them. Animal test 6308. That's it.
My sock sword didn't proc. Oh my god. It's Jover. Saj.
Race you. Ring cutter. Going in. Stand clear. Enhanced animal module 70. Toast. No, my sword. Let me lead you a bit. Teamwork is true. Nice and spicy. Animal test 6308. That's not right. Stand clear. Eat this. No, my sword. Scout.
And these enemies are so cringe.
Let's light it up. Ring cutter. I'm going in. Get them. Absorption test. Animal hypostasis emulation. You're toast. No, my sword. Yes. Let's light it. Out of the frying pan. Animal test 6308. Off we go. Let's light it up. I have.
They just move so much, man. Tis cringe. Oh well.
Stray cloud converged.
Here comes the test.
No, don't dendro yourself, you fucking piece of shit! We actually have the damage to one rotate this, by the way, if this garbage doesn't happen.
Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now.
Size of cringe, but it's second side, so I'm not restarting.
Let me lead you. Teamwork is true. Get them. Stand clear. Enhanced animal module 75. Eat this. Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power. I'm going in. Nice and spicy. Animal hypostasis emulation.
Oh, somehow my sack sword didn't proc on 3 enemies. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
Race you.
Yeah, sure.
Light it up.
Yeah, no, that makes a whole lot of sense, I think.
No, my sword. Let me lead you a bit. Everybody stand up. Animal test 6308. Absorption. Eat this.
now he's gonna be on fucking cooldown, so he can't proc a second time.
Enhanced animal module 75.
But it's fine. Plus the 80-20. It is not an 80-20, my friend. Against 3 enemies on a double hit? It's a 50-50. Is Astra Carnival a separate entity from Genshin Official? Didn't expect you to be in there with all the blacklisting stuff. I mean, it's a Samsung event, right?
Seize the skies. Here comes the catch. Gotcha. Busted.
Strike a pose. Let the world come alive.
Make way for the... Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
Quiz Jeff and title, look inside Sucrose National, yeah.
Ring cutter. Teamwork is strength. Lola, get. Stand clear. You're toast. Know my sword.
Huh?
Off we go. Let's light it up.
Let me weave you a web.
Everybody stand. Nice and spicy. Absorption test. Animal test 6308.
Rain outlines your face. Time to act. Know my sword.
Lola, get. Go. Shower me with praise. Someone help me. Let mine in.
Seize the skies. Busted. Here comes the catch.
God.
Let the world come alive.
Things are about to get dicey.
Skyward.
This is not good.
Make way for the...
No. That was terrible, man. Bro's getting 0 vapes, yeah. As soon as you do something that isn't exactly just what you're supposed to be doing, Elon isn't enough hydro. But it's still cleared? I know.
Ring cutter. I'm going in. At the right pin. Stand clear. Don't break my glass. You're toast.
Rain outlines your face.
Let's light it.
Witness the power.
Teamwork is strength.
about that one. Do you have double hydro? How is that not enough? Well, because double hydro doesn't mean shit. If your hydros are fucking Yalon Farina, man. You know? Like, your hydro up is still slower than if you had solo hydro Singto. It just is what it is. Praying? Hold on. I don't think I want to add that. Alright, chat. I think it's time to record the meta roundup. Say hi to YouTube. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. Hi. To Genshin Impact 4.6? 4.5? 4.5 meta roundup. Now, the meta roundup, I didn't do one last patch, and I wasn't sure I wasn't going to do one this patch, but it will be different. I've realized that over the meta roundups, I started repeating myself a lot, so I think there's still some value in, like, going through what teams are doing specifically well or specifically poorly. But going through a list of all team archetypes isn't really something I'm gonna be doing anymore. I'm just going to be going through the enemies and the sort of teams that are good against it. So, like, for example, for your first side, Chamber 1, right, you're gonna have a bunch of AoE, as well as single target, and an enemy with a bunch of cryo and animal res. So I'd be like, okay, well, this is gonna hurt these specific archetypes, you're gonna need to choose a team that has AoE and single target, blah blah blah. Anyways. So, Chamber 1. Veteran Frost Operative, Veteran Wind Operative, Large Overgrown Breacher Primus, and Pyro Abyss Mage. This is truly an Abyss Chamber of all time. It's very frustrating. It's not fun. No one likes it. These guys are very, very small and move a lot. And as it turns out, when half of the Genshin characters, honestly, more so the 5 stars than the 4 stars, are given, ooh, wow, pretty animations with a bunch of flourish, a bunch of UI cluttering, it makes it so that small mobile enemies are really hard to see. And so you'll spend half of this chamber trying to figure out where they are. On top of that, they are actually pretty damn tanky. One specific feature that they have that hasn't been all that relevant in Abyss for a pretty long while is, well, they are light enemies that are very vulnerable to both grouping abilities like Venti's Burst and fall damage. What that means is if you're struggling with this chamber specifically, you can try to abuse fall damage, either with units dedicated to it, like Jean with charge attack spam, or sorry, Jean with like hold E plus charge attack and stuff like that, which is gonna be a bit on the slower side, but like it'll work, right? Or you can just use a team that is going to knock the enemies up a lot. So, for example, you can check out Jamie's video on this team. It'll be linked in the description. But
Time to shine. Surrender and be gentle.
Falling leaves. Adorn. The time beckons. Silence.
that was terrible. That's fine.
Try not to injure.
Let the mighty be humble.
Is that festering on Kaza? Yeah, usually my festering is on Farina, so when I put Fav on Farina, it's generally taking away.
Bow your head.
We meet at last, meddler. My sincerity. A gift for you.
Whatever, I'll explain after.
One with nature. Let's sparkle.
Right, you see there's, what was it, 150 gear or something like that fall damage? Oh, there we go. I didn't quite see that number, but I did see the health bar going down a decent amount.
Into the wind.
Strike a pose.
Oh, we were in burst animation for that number, but we saw the health bars going down a lot there as well. But being fall damage can help you a lot, right? In some teams. So that's something to keep in mind. In my opinion, out of all three chambers, I think all three can be the most difficult chamber for you, depending on what teams you have access to and the state of your account. Chamber 1, I think, is more so about either having strong resistance to interruption or a good way to keep the Fatui operatives crowd controlled or grouped. But yeah. Then on the second half, we have the Jade Plume Terrashroom, and honestly, there's not much to say about this. It is what it is. It's a single target guy. He just stands there. If you're using Electro, he has a 1 out of 3 chance to run away. When he does his enraged attack. So if your timing is really tight, like you're not the highest investment, you're struggling to get your 3-star clear, might have to reset if he does that attack, but otherwise should be fine. Next up, we have this chamber, which is the second, oh boy, of this abyss, right? And I think that the most annoying part of this is not the husks, it's the specters. I don't think the specters are that difficult, but there being 2 specters of each of these elements means that there are some archetypes that are actually going to struggle a lot just to get past the specters, right? Monopyro, Aggravate teams, and Nilo teams are the 3 that are going to struggle the most. Now, all of them can slot in alternatives to get through it anyways. You can play a Monopyro. In Monopyro, you can either play like an attack animal crit Kazuha, or true. Or just slot in an off-field damage dealer that isn't Pyro, like Fischl or Farina or whatever. But generally, the characters that are played in Monopyro also have other non-Monopyro teams, so it's not the end of the world. For Aggravate, you can use your animal unit and self-infuse with Pyro. I think over the 8 months or though. Right, you want to let yourself get hit by a Pyro attack so that you can absorb Pyro into a Kazuha burst, for example. And then for Nilo teams, you just have to use Hydro units that are not built with EM and that can actually like do some non-dendro damage, right? So either without changing your build too much, you can go Clam on Kokomi if that's who you're using. This is gonna be little slow, but not that bad. You're just gonna make sure your Clam is hitting both Dendro Specters. Otherwise, you can just use a Hydro unit like Singto, Yelan, Nevilet, whatever, who doesn't have to build EM in Nilo teams. You can also go Clan Barbara, I guess, yeah. But yeah, and then you have 3 Whopper Flowers, which are really annoying because a lot of the teams, the teams that don't get countered by this, generally take, like, just a few seconds to kill them all. And then the Whopper Flowers spawn. And you just sit in the middle of a rotation. And there's a lot of teams where you're not gonna have enough damage to finish off the Whopper Flowers before the end of your rotation. Especially because they move so much. So you're just gonna end up having to start another rotation on the Whopper Flowers. And then it's gonna feel like shit. But hey, it is what it is. They're fine, honestly, not much to say about them. And then finally you have the Shadowy Husks. Now, for these, you're gonna have to try to make sure you're staying close to the Cryo Archer, because it's the only one that doesn't have attacks that move it towards you. Keep in mind, if you get hit while you have a shield up, it's gonna be kind of rough, right? You're gonna give them a pyro shield, and their attacks are gonna become stronger. So either don't bring a shield or try not to get hit while you have a shield. Also do keep in mind that even if you don't bring a shield, some of them have geo attacks. So either if you have self-infusions, or if you get hit by some of their non-geo attacks, they can trigger Crystallize on you. And if you pick up that Crystallized shard, you will have a shield. So do keep that in mind. Next up, you have PMA. Also, really not that much to say about it. Although for PMA, it is worth mentioning that PMA is such a buggy enemy that a bunch of characters have not necessarily bad matchups, but worse matchups than they usually do because of the bugs. Right, so for example, aggravate teams that use Fischl tend to perform a bit worse against the PMA because Fischl's Ascension 4 passive hits a part of its hitbox, or hits a part of the enemy that doesn't have a hitbox, so it just doesn't deal damage or apply Electro, which is very cringe. Very often there are multiple attacks where Hu Tao's charge attacks won't hit the PMA. But yeah, it is what it is. And finally, last chamber. We have Coplea. Man. And we have the Veteran Arithmetic Enhancer mech. Or the Pogo Elite. From Fontaine Local Legends. And honestly, I like this enemy a lot. I think that Coplea is omega cringe. And but hey, it is what it is. But I like this enemy a lot, right? It deals enough damage that it feels relevant to dodge its attacks. But its attacks are actually dodgeable in ways that make it feel really fair. And it doesn't stall. It has a shield phase, but it's pretty clear how to take care of that, and you can speed that up by either using better matchups for it, or just by understanding how it works. And you can also extend its downtime duration in the same ways. So, I think, yeah, before we get into a run that showcases a few strategies you can use, let's talk a little bit about what sort of teams are going to do particularly well or particularly poorly in this abyss, right? So the first team I want to look at is Nilo teams, and Nilo teams are actually not that bad this abyss. The Dendro Specters are like intimidating, I think. And the traditional Nilo teams won't necessarily be the best, but Nilo teams with Singto and Nilo teams with Yelan are gonna do a lot better than usual, because this is an abyss where you have both AoE and single target, right, on the first side. And the Hydro units that are good at single target that you can use in Nilo teams also tend to be units that you don't want to build full EM and you want to build for talent damage even in Nilo teams, right? And so it takes care of both the single target issue and the Dendro Spectre issue at the same time. Now, they're obviously still not going to be the best teams, but at least it's coherent. Like, at least the ways they have to counter Chamber 3 and the ways they have to counter Chamber 2 are both coherent, right? They work well together. Alright. Other than that, I mean, as a general rule, right, any team that has pretty good AoE and isn't AoE only is going to tend to do well. Chamber 1, 2, 3. Except Cryo and Animo teams. Now, Cryo and Animo teams are not very good on the first side of this abyss because of Coplia. Coplia gets 70% resistances to Animo and Cryo at a baseline, and increases those resistances by 25% during its climax, which it starts with in Abyss, right? Now you can reduce those resistances by applying Pneuma to it. But the resistances will go back up every time she sends out Coplius to spin around. And then on top of that, yeah. Because of that, it makes it so that Animo and Cryo teams are going to do a lot worse than they usually would. And if you want to play an Animo or Cryo team, I'd try to do it on the second side. Although, second side, obviously, is single target only, so freeze, single target bosses only. Right? So freeze, probably not going to be the best. Right? I think this is one of the worst abysses for freeze we've had in a while. Which is really unfortunate, because freeze is actually so good, both on chambers 1 and 2. Well, yeah, if you really insist on playing a Cryo or Animo team, and you're playing Farina, keep in mind the Pneumuzia attack that you need to reduce its resistances is the Pneuma one. So make sure you do a charge attack on Farina to swap the healing mode and do an attack. And then another charge attack to go back to her normal mode. If you want to reduce its resistances. But yeah. I think then on the second side, any team that has a good single target will do. I know a lot of people have struggled with the mech. I think that any good single target team, I think that it's more important to focus on your teams for the first side than second side. Because a lot of the things that can make the mech a little bit more difficult are things you can kind of work around by just playing better. Anyways, let me gear very quickly. Gearing.
I created another universe and founded.
Okay, so I can showcase the aggravate stuff. And then second side. Oh yeah, Brussels, that's a good point. Another important thing about the mech is once you break its shield, it becomes vulnerable to Pneuma attacks. And if you do a Pneuma attack, it's gonna knock it down. Which is, it sounds like a good thing, but if you do it too early, it's gonna end up making it re-shield faster. Because generally, you break its shield, it finishes its current attack, it does one more attack, and then it shields back up. With Pneuma, you break its shield, you apply a Pneuma attack to it, it cancels his current attack, he does an attack while he's down, and then he gets back up. So ideally, you'd want to apply Pneuma to it after it's been down for a little while already. That means that characters, specifically carries, that apply Pneuma while attacking, like Linny for example, don't necessarily have the best matchup against the mech. Or Neuvillette second sight. Neuvillette is fine. With Neuvillette, you just use your E. Like, you almost break the shield. You use your E. You swap, you do your setup. You break the shield. Use your burst. You do 3 charge attacks, and then you use your E. And you end up with a pretty good amount of time. Anyways. Should I show that? I guess I should, yeah. I can show it with Zhongli, I guess. Oh, right. Let me just... So, the thing, official, Kazuha, Yao Yao, and then second side we can take a look at Neuvillette. Oh right, I only have one Kazuha. Okay. So, for this one, honestly, not that much to say.
Speed of light, nowhere to hide. Hey!
Midnight Venta.
Don't blink, cut to the chase. Hey! We need it last.
And then these annoying little shitters.
One with wind and cloud.
Fire in consideration. Odds revealed by with swords from shadow.
We're using a decent amount of fall damage here. Kazuha just by himself can offer your fall damage very easily, especially with Sack Sword.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Midnight.
The archetype that helps you the most with fall damage is generally Electro Charge, or anything that has Electro Charge on it, so Taser.
Wind strider.
There we go. Finish them off with fall damage. Very cool. Or Viridescent Hunt Child. That is true. But yeah. For this one, really not much to say.
Temple of Wisdom. Buckle up.
The tide beckons. Silence.
Something feels off.
There is no
Maybe I'm just an idiot, but...
sharing my knowledge. Book of Art.
Bow your head. Be sanctified.
This number is lower than it usually is.
Silence.
Why? I see. That would explain it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Makes a whole lot of sense. That shouldn't affect the on-screen numbers too much. What, having an EM circlet instead of crit damage circlet? Alright, let's try this again. With the right artifacts this time.
Wind strike.
Incoming. Cut to the chase.
Wind strike.
Midnight then.
Don't blink. Ready, go! Stay put. Speed of light. Nowhere to hide. Don't blink. Hey! Odds revealed. Incoming.
One with wind and cloud for you.
Wings of dark. Cut to the chase. Don't blink. Got lucky that time. Go get Eagle.
That was a lot of damage there.
Let my magic begin.
Incoming. Nowhere to hide.
Midnight then.
Clouds high. The birds.
Speed of light. Cut to the chase.
Okay.
Incoming.
Settle down.
Illusion shattered. South of who? Buckle up.
Let the mighty be humble. Bow your head.
Of course. Picked up the wrong ball shot.
Shine down.
Silence.
Grow. Sharing my knowledge.
Be sanctified.
Picked up the wrong ball.
Bow your head.
Saj. Okay. So, oh god, I don't have burst. Wait, how? Oh. It's fine. We'll be fine. Okay, so. For this one, we want to let ourselves get hit by one of the pyro attacks. Fuck, I'm an idiot. How was it that I did it last time? You wanna let yourself get hit by a pyro attack, but not the other attacks. You hit here and then dash.
Into the wind.
You'll get a pyro infusion,
Don't be scared. Don't blink.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
and that will help you deal with the Electro Specters
Sword from shadow. Incoming. Hey.
quite easily. And once that's done, you just play the chamber normally.
Don't blink.
And even get some fall damage against the Walrus Flowers, just like we got against the Operatives.
Ready, go.
And then finally here, just stay on the... Hey bro, am I an idiot?
With sword from shadow. Hey.
This was...
As you wish, main Fräulein. Time to go.
Bro, I'm stuck. This was a terrible showcase. Trying to fucking talk while you're doing it is so hard, man.
Wind strike.
You play. You're up. By royal incoming. Good.
Clouds high. The birds come.
Nowhere to hide. Don't blink. Yeah.
Anyways. Oh my...
Midnight phantasm.
Stay put. Incoming with sword from shadow. Hey. Don't blink.
So, try to stay
Fallen leaves. Adorn.
on the cryo one, because it's the only one that doesn't have an attack
Good.
that makes it go towards you.
Midnight fantastic.
Clouds high. The birds.
Cut to the chase. Hey. Stronger than I thought.
Try not to die to the pyro aura, or the pyro burn that you get, and then just finish them off. I'm an idiot. Oh my god.
Oz, reveal thyself.
One with nature.
My mouse keeps alt-tabbing. Like, it keeps, like, going onto the other fucking monitor. Like, whatever. It's very frustrating. Anyways, not much to say on the on this side again, right? It's just BMA. As a reminder, against BMA, it'll phase once you get it to a certain HP threshold, and oh my god. And once it phases, it'll summon ads.
There is no escape.
Ads. And some of them are tankier than the others, right? So if you get an unlucky ad, you can restart. Jellyfish is pretty bad. The best one is the Dorito one.
Illusion shattered.
Bow your head.
This might hurt a little. Sharing my knowledge.
Let the mighty be humble.
But if you have enough damage, you won't necessarily have to restart for good RNG. And you are chilling. And then finally, last chamber. Coplia is still the annoying little shit that it is.
No rest for the wicked.
My god.
Time to go. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. Wind strike.
Incoming. Nowhere to hide.
Midnight Venta. Time to go. Never.
I want to kill myself in game. It's fine. I really don't like this boss.
By royal decree.
As one with wind and cloud.
Don't blink. Cut to the tape.
Did I get a fucking cryo infusion? Oh
Speed of
my
light.
god.
Incoming. Stay put. Midnight Venta. Go!
Or I'll just heal.
Clouds high. The birds call.
I got another. Okay, dude, this is.
Nowhere to hide. Hey! Incoming. Don't be scared. Oz, reveal by
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
with sword comes shadow. Change of plan.
As you wish.
Don't get it, you away.
How? How did I get 3 of them?
Stay put.
Whatever, man.
Nowhere to hide.
There's nothing to say about Coplia anyways, so we don't have to show this footage in the video, thank god. Okay, so priority infusion. Priority doesn't matter if there's only one element. Yao Yao removed my Dendro because I forgot to put Oz on field. Anyways. So, finally we have the mech. And for the mech, right, you want to swap to any character that has a weapon that has blunt plunge attacks. So claymores, polearms, and swords. Ideally, swords and claymores are better, with claymores being the best, because you can dash cancel the end lag of your plunge attack to start your next plunge attack faster. That's what we're gonna do. I'm an idiot. That is not it. I was focusing too much on trying to show how fast you can do it that I forgot to stop before I broke the shield. Whatever, man.
Don't be scared.
Clouds high. The birds call.
With sword comes shadow. Speed of light. Hey! Incoming.
Midnight wind strike.
Stay put. Ready, go! I summon thee.
No rest.
Speed of light. Hey! Cut to the tape.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. As you wish.
Don't blink. Nowhere to hide. Don't get it, you away.
Wind strike.
My royal decree. Incoming. With sword comes shadow.
Okay, so. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you're paying attention to the shield's health bar and stopping a little bit before it's gone. And then you can start doing your setup,
Minute to memory. Make yourself
and it's going to effectively make it so that you spend more time with it being down.
There is no escape. Just wait for your buckle up.
Let the mighty be humble.
Here's gonna shield back up. And then we just do it again. I fucked that. Oh, nice.
Illusion shattered.
Silence.
A minute to memory. Sharing my knowledge.
And just like that, you get it done. Now, hmm. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for this one. Let me know what you think about these shorter videos for the meta roundup. I really felt like I was repeating myself too much for the previous ones. Also, I'm sorry that this video is coming out a decent amount later than they usually do. I really wasn't sure if I was gonna make it at all. So I know that it's coming out after the first phase of this abyss is already over, but hey, it is what it is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, YouTube. All right. That was short, yeah. God, I feel like fucking dog shit, dude. Ah! I hate it.
Melusines are beautiful creatures.
I've been feeling terrible for the past, like,
Be
week.
sure to befriend them.
How much sleep did you get? I woke up at like 5 a.m. and then I went back to bed, and I woke up at like 6 a.m. and then I went back to bed, and then I woke up at like 7 a.m. and then I then I went back to bed, and then I woke up at 8 a.m. and then I went back to bed, and then I woke up. You get it. Like, in total, I got a decent amount of sleep, but I never slept for like more than an hour and a half at a time. It is what it is. Bro's doing sets of sleeping? Alright, calm down, man. Hmm. Alright, chat.
I'm coming.
I think this team is not a good idea for this quest. Don't know why, I just have this feeling.
My contraption.
Solidify!
Petit chou. Ow! You're safe! I was so worried! Ah, my dear petit chou. And you too, Anne! We meet again at last. In those darkest days I thought of you, and drew strength to fight on from those thoughts. Thank you, noble warriors. You have come forth to uphold the cause of justice. Why, had I arms as slender as yours, I would tip my hat to honor you. I'm not doing the Paimon voice, man. There's no need to be so prim and proper. Why is la fowl French? It's la volaille, not fowl. Why is a finch's older brother a duck? Why a duck, you ask? Ha! Are such definitions important? I have a supple body and an iron will, and webbed feet with which to tread water. Of these, I am proud, and that is enough. And Petit Chou is Petit Chou! The sphere is the shape closest to perfection, and the most complicated of all shapes. I am most proud of my sister. Seriously, brothers, what are you talking about? We members of the Narcissus Creuse Adventure Team are disparate indeed, but we have one goal. We shall save Princess Lyris, and we shall defeat the fell dragon Narcissus. Honestly, I'm not doing this for the whole quest. It's like a 10-hour quest line, right? I'm not doing that shit. Well said. The person I am now knows only that the one who stands before me is a noble and valiant knight who possesses the iron will needed to defeat Narcissus. That is enough for me. Usually, the mightier the will, the larger the form needed to be its vessel, as it is in the case of Narcissus. A knight's stature is much like mine, and yet... Seriously, the first and last thing Paimon understood here was Narcissus. You're always going on about Narcissus this and Narcissus that, but what is it really? Look up above Princess Lyris's tower. That is Narcissus. Huh? That wasn't there before the water rose. Good golly gosh, the fell dragon Narcissus. Wait a minute, that's an ocean no matter how you look at it, not a dragon. But that is the fell dragon Narcissus. The dragon who invaded the Narcissan Crow's kingdom. And its wings are very huge and frightening. But it's an oceanid, isn't it? Well, Zajef and Paimon, you've seen much. What then should a dragon look like? Talking about the dragons we've fought before, they'd be... Dude, I still don't accept Azaha being a dragon. Like, that's just... He's not a dragon, he's a Vishap. These are different things. He's a frog. The Valen's a whole different story from Oceanids. The Valen's super blue, his wings are huge, and he can fly. What? That's exactly like the fell dragon. A being whose true form cannot be grasped by humanity, he could summon all manners of servants. That does sound quite like Narcissus. I have to click on it. Whatever. He became the embodiment of primal energies and Lea's enemy. It was a being as evil as Narcissus then. Damn. Whatever, man. Our purpose defines our essence. At this time, we are the heroes challenging the wicked dragon, and he is the wicked dragon. This is sufficient. Huh, this must be what Al means when he says, a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. That is precisely the case, dear Petit Chou. Were you not called Petit Chou, you would still be my dearest younger sister. So long as that's the tower your princess sleeps in, the one lurking atop the tower is the fell dragon Narcissus. Is that right? No, I fear. As we stated previously, he is not here now, which is why we were able to win our way here so easily. That up there is the dragon's hatred made manifest. That's so complicated. Can't it just be an ordinary statue? Like, you know, Narcissus commanding his orderlings to make an image of him on the highest tower so as to show off his greatness, as force all the people of the land to look upon him or something. Well, you actually make a reasonable point, Paimon. This is actually just yapping. Like, this part, who the fuck cares? The fell dragon is truly terrifying. My talons hurt just looking at him. Well, we have our knight, Zajef. So we should be fine if he is present, yes? Let us move on, then. With you by our side, we have nothing to fear. Head to the designated location.
Huh? Jackpot.
Jackpot. You got it. Oh, it's Jack! And then Jackpot! Get it? She knew. As I thought, you were the ones who emptied the waters out. Excellent, excellent. If I had hands like yours, yellow and white ones, I would be applauding already. Is he saying that only yellow and white hands can applaud? I am very bothered by the that his throat is doing. By the way, it's actually like Forget it. The yellow and white ones here, who are they? Yellow and white, you mean us? Who else would I mean? Does Petit Chou look yellower to you, or does Anne? A knight, you say? I suppose this Paimon is the squire? No, no. Why does everyone call Paimon that? Paimon is no squire, is she not? I mean, yeah, a squire is useful. Whatever. Then you are not some minor... How do you say this word in English? Is it feudal? It sounds wrong. Some minor feudal warrior. No, in the usual sense, anyway. Are you then some honorary knight, one with a title that comes with little benefit? Ah, then you were a dutiful, capable warrior. Very good. In that case, welcome to Orchestre Jacques. The name is merely an analogy, for we weave resistance like an orchestra in our struggle against Narcissus as we seek to rescue Miss Lyris. Don't you mean Princess Lyris? That's right. Isn't Lyris a princess? Well, both terms refer to the same person, but leaving that aside, we should listen well. The title princess is a rigid, hierarchical term of address, a product of an oppressive system. It was a title whose merit is birth, not labor or wisdom. Here we go again. If the universe was a more rational one, there would be no gods, no kings, and certainly no princes or princesses. Nor would there be mystical powers that only a few may wield. You follow me thus far? Didn't you put your name on your organization as well? True. An orchestra must have a conductor, lest no music be made out of cacophony. This sounds really deep, but it's also confusing Paimon. Bass frog? The frog is not bass, bro. If you're gonna be saying this shit to someone you just met, you're a weird guy. Okay? Like, if in your first meeting with someone, 3 sentences in, you start yapping about, ooh, the universe is unfair and irrational. No, you're not based. You're a weirdo. But not doing anything all day while being able to enjoy delicious sweet madames is pretty nice. Is there anything wrong with that? See, if there are some who will reap the benefits despite doing no labor, then there must be some who shall have to do more to compensate. Wait, Paimon does do work in her own way, doesn't she? This has been a very interesting conversation, but please allow me to interject. Dear... Is it supposed to be Jack or Jacques? What do you guys think? I'm gonna call him Jacques. Dear Jacques, good night. May we now begin discussing our next course of action in our rescue of Princess Lyris. Silencing voices you do not want to hear, I see. Oh, Zajef, come. See the repression inherent in the system. Help! Help! Al's repressing me. Jacques, you... Al isn't doing that. He's a good person. He wouldn't bully you. Dear sister, please do not lose your temper over this. If you have more to say, Jacques, why don't we find a corner and settle this like gentlemen, Twitter frog. See, like, that's the thing, right? No one would ever say things like this. Unless they're saying it as a joke to make fun of people who they think say things like this. You know? So either the frog is reactionary, or the writers are reactionary. Man, it is what it is. It is okay. Can I trouble you all to stop for a second? Sure. Please, everyone, aren't we comrades? We've all gathered to rescue Princess or Ms. Lyris, after all. We count as such, I suppose. We shall cooperate. Even though my final goal is to create a more beautiful world for Ms. Lyris. Let's shake hands then, comrades. What hands? They didn't shake hands. They don't have an animation for that. Alright, now that's the problem is solved. Problem, this is but the manifestation of a deeper issue. Jacques, please! Wow, I was starting to think that I'd brought such capable help along just to let them listen to two boys squabble. As for the situation, ask Al and Jacques to explain. I need a moment to cool off. Talk to Jacques. Okay. Hello, Jacques. Allow me to speak first then, honored knight in Paimon. Concerning the tower before us, Narcissus has been unable to overcome it. As such, the princess is still safe. At that time, when all seemed lost, the princess gave her greatest treasure to us, and that was the time that belonged to her. After she lost that time, the princess and the tower she dwells in both fell into a stagnant, dreamless slumber. In remembrance of her, we named our fallen realm the Anapausis. And what does that mean? Because it has completely stagnated, Narcissus has also been unable to taint anything within. That's more or less our situation. What do you mean more or less our situation? Firstly, how would someone give anyone else their time? But it's true. Princess Lyris did share her time with us. Narcissus would constantly plot to invade, but with the time she gave us, we became far stronger. For example, my brother Al can usually only defeat one foe at once, but with more time he can vanquish 4 or even 5 at one go. A most vivid example. Thank you for your explanation, dear Petit Chou. Well, I hope you understand now, Zajef and Paimon. How do you even give your time to other people? Do these details matter? This is not similar to how feudal nobles will hire sharecroppers. Sharecroppers? I'm gonna skip Jacques' voice lines. I'm starting to... Narcissus has spent long years since searching for the princess's treasure. Only its power can cause time in the tower to flow again, and only then will its locked gates open. Thus, he summoned waters, bringing with wicked intent to drown the kingdom, and created underlings unnumbered and many magical devices besides. All this was done to hunt us Narcissan Cry's adventure team members down and seize the treasure that should have been in our hands. Wait, should have? Before we had another older brother? Nay. In those terrifying days, he took the treasure and fled alongside us, but he dissolved into the waters while covering us. I miss him so much. We were very good friends. I hate the dragon, even though I know that these feelings are not good, but I miss Nay. He was like my real brother, just like Al. Oh, we're sorry for your loss. If that's the case, how are we supposed to save Princess Lyris? The treasure has sealed the tower, and it can only be opened again with said treasure. Yeah, whatever. It is right over there. He used the last of his strength to purify a patch of water in the firmament. It was there that he hid the treasure. What an irony. It seems that Narcissus has gotten too used to looking down upon the citizenry below and has not been in the habit of looking up. And there, the treasure has been hiding all along. Must destroy the 3 bubble formations. Hydrograna that can bombard intruders from a great distance. Okay. Okay, we destroy them. Very cool. Okay, leave it to me. Let's do this shit. Clear the bubble formation. Whoa, villain!
Gather!
Holy.
Unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it.
Yeah. Huh? Stabilize! Gather!
Another villain? Oh no! Colonel Kate! Hmm. They didn't dodge, chat. Mori. Bro, how many of these fuckers are we gonna meet, man? Sniffs. Mori, no! Woof woof. Bad people. Oh, is this one a dog? Okay.
Solidify!
And by you, hold on. No way. Silly dog, Mori. Bad. They're good people. Woof, understood. Give paw? Huh, you really are a dog. Woof. A long time ago, Mori played here with the Princess Al Petitchou, and Jacques. But the air and water were later filled with a scent of evil, and everyone left. Only the princess remained, so I protect her. So that's Princess Lyris. Right, it was mentioned that she lost her treasure, which is why everything stagnated, so here it is. It's just a statue of the princess. She's still in the tower. How long has he been there? As soon as we got there, he sniffed us, and you're telling me he didn't sniff her a single time, and all the time he's been there? I don't know, man. That seems like a sus thing, you know? Okay.
If we bury it, maybe it'll spring back to life.
Alright. I don't know if I want to do any more today. We did a part of it. That's what I wanted to do. But I'm still not feeling very good, so I don't know, man. Maybe the event? I did that already. I like this quest overall, lots of puzzles.
These are about to get dicey.
That's good.
Stabilize!
Yeah, I think that might be it for the day, honestly. Like, I'm not sure, but I don't know. Hey, thank you. Damn, if I knew that getting sponsors would make people send more bits, I would have done that before. What the fuck? Holy Corpa. You didn't know that that's how Twitch works? Huh. 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 Alright, chat, I think that's gonna be it. Tomorrow we'll keep going with the quest. Hopefully I feel better. Hopefully I actually manage to get some real sleep. Hopefully I stream at a reasonable time. But yeah. We can raid Jonathan. And this time I am going to be raiding the right one. I'm not gonna do /raid Jonathan and then show up in his chat and be like, oh fuck. Alright,
Oh, okay.
go say hi, I'll see you guys
Water in my
around.
ear,
Bye
but
bye.
I realized it was from when I showered. I thought my eardrum burst.